What's going on, everyone? Today I wanted to talk to you guys about something very important. That's something between success and failure. Number one, I'm currently going through some difficult issues at this time. Issues with doing tasks that I write down because of things that are getting in the way. And so I'm being attacked viciously by food, pornography, a lot of the things that I want to buy, like all these things that give you immediate happiness, but in the long run they don't really give you happiness. Those two main things are getting in the way. These are them. I'll write them down for you. Food, right here. Good food, like expensive food, like shrimp, like shrimp, chicken, shrimp, chicken, rice, sugar, sugar foods. I'm being attacked by women, sex. Everywhere I go in the street, I'm getting attacked there. They're stopping me. It's slowing me down. I'm on a mission to help people find purpose. You know what I mean? And these are the things that are getting in my way. Everybody has. What I notice is, if you're like an important person, right? So you're a high power. If you have access to higher power, if you're created for a serious reason, like Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Whitney Houston, Michael Jackson,
Jim Carrey or Shania
the
Twain.
people with the higher power naturally within them. There's things that are on the lower power that equal and the polar opposite. This is polar. That's stopping you. All right. So if you have a really really high natural higher power to get in contact with something that's gonna really make you have a greater change in the world, there's an equal polar opposite that's on the lower end with the same mission to stop you. So it's usually with addictions. So if you have a lot of higher powers, usually comes with high addictions. It comes with higher addictions. Like good taste in food, right? Good taste in sex. Good taste in cars, merchandise, clothes. So that's like buying goods. So that's like clothes, cars, jewelry, homes, vacations, vacation spots. All of these come with higher power. If it's naturally in you, usually, if you're born with this naturally in you, you're going to have these attached to you. These are all attached to these, the lower self.
And by that, I mean overindulging in these lower self activities. It's okay to have a little bit of everything, good taste in all of the things I wrote down, but I'm talking about overindulging in each one.
There's 7 different things you need. When you have clarity, when you're doing service, when you don't care what people think, when you have isolation, when you're righteous, acting in the now. Oh yeah, the 7th one that I wanted to add was this, gratitude. So these all once you have all these intact, it's like the 7 chakras. You are fully aligned. And that becomes, you can find purpose. A lot of people don't know what their purpose in life is. It's because they're not doing one of these different things. They might might have clarity. They're not smoking. They're not drinking. They're eating the right foods. They're they're not doing any types of drugs. Okay, they might have clarity. They might have service. They might be giving to poor. They might be donating money. They might be giving their services for free. They might be helping people who aren't their initial family. They might be doing that, but they don't have isolation. So they're too close to all these people around them to give them all these other inputs, and it's deterring their natural thought process. So, and they may have kids around. They may have a husband or a wife that's always like nagging or always giving their 2 cents, or they might be following somebody else, like their significant other, whatever. They might have 5 of them, but they don't have 2 of them. A lot of people don't realize that these are very important in order for you to find purpose in life. And I can tell you this because I found purpose in life, and that's to help people find purpose in life. I'm an artist by nature, but beyond the nature, I've realized through my learning and experiences that I'm worth more than just being an artist. I'm more of a person who has a greater purpose than just being an artist, and that's to help people find purpose. Because through my experiences, through my development, through my growing in life, I've done all of these and put them into action, and now I'm beginning to find all of the things that I've always wanted in life. It's giving me a natural high rather than smoking, drinking, doing other drugs. I'm getting a natural high off service, or teaching people how to do art and watching them grow as artists and become better by me giving them tips and suggestions, and I see the growth. That gives me a natural high. You know what I mean? And clarity. Stop smoking, stop drinking, stop eating bad foods, all of that type of stuff. You know what I mean? Not caring what people think. I used to care what people think a lot. I was worried about how people look at me or comments I might get on the internet. All of that stuff was going on. Like my whole life, I really didn't care what people think to a certain degree, but now I really don't care what people think at all. Like, I'm not talking about, you're not gonna go swear in front of your kids and go walk down the street naked because that's illegal. Like, there's certain lines you want to draw when it comes to not caring what people think about you. What I'm talking about is who you really are, what your true colors are, and what you really want in life. That is basically the real true nature of yourself. That's who you really truly want to be. And when you show that, sometimes it's a little, people might look at you weird or say you're this or say you're that, and it's a little off the normal. You know what I mean? And because of that, you care what people think, and you kind of like hold it in. You know what I mean? And doing that what do you think you do? You just builds up and you blow up one day, And once you let that go, then you can start blooming and being yourself. And that's what I realized through not caring what people think has made me grow into the person I am right now. And I'm growing even more faster and more rapidly. Isolation. I'm alone now, and because of it, I've been able to think about my own thoughts. With clarity, of course. With a clear head to ask questions and to get answers. With clarity, I was able to ask questions and get answers. You don't know what the heck you want to ask if you don't know who to ask and what to ask. And how are you going to get an answer if you don't have a clear mind or a clear conscience to know what the answer is? And that's yourself. Your higher self is who you're asking. It's the creating self of you, the super conscience. That's who you're talking to. That's who you're trying to connect with and get the answers from in order for you to know what you want and how to get it and the steps to take. Right? So when you have clarity, you do some service. Service helps you develop yourself. Because for me as an artist, if I put a big dollar, like $50, $20, $30 an hour to teach people how to do art, what happens? A lot of people can't afford it. And basically I limit myself by limiting my teaching, because I can't teach as much people as if I had done it for free. And by helping somebody, I'm helping myself, because, for example, one person wanted to know how to make a collection of artwork, so I looked it up. And then how do I tell her? Because I looked it up, now I know. So this is what I'm talking about. That's how you help yourself, by helping others. Also, just keep in mind, in the beginning, you don't have to charge just to get the experience on how to help people. But eventually you can put the price up, so that way you can, carry yourself and continue doing what you love to do. Unless you need it, unless you ask it. Unless you ask people with their best interest in you, right? Righteousness. Being righteous, what that does is basically, what being righteous does, it puts you in the right spot in life. And I believe in a thing called karma. Whatever you do will come back. You understand? If you're bad, you'll get bad. And it every single time, it never fails. Karma never fails. Ever. In history. Anybody who has done something super wrong has gotten the backlash. Look at every situation. Most situations. Think about your own personal situations. Every time. And what I realize is that when you're righteous, when you do what's right, if you throw something in the garbage and teach your daughter how to throw something in the garbage and don't litter, your daughter's not going to litter. Your daughter's daughter's not going to litter. And it goes on. That's what I mean, a ripple effect. You might be one of 7 billion plus people in the world, but you affect the world around you. That's how this world works. So when you're righteous, you set an example for other people to be righteous. Not only that, when you're doing right, there's no blockages. There's nothing to stop you. There's no negative. It's only positive. Right equals positive. Bad equals negative. So wrong equals negative. So you want to be positive all the time. You want to be in a positive state of mind all the time. As humans, that doesn't work like that. We go through ups and downs on every scale. Through feelings, down to the heartbeat, down to our breathing. It's always up and down. You know what I mean? And this is the way it goes. And because of that, when you're in a negative spot, what you want to do is you want to grab a hold of your own mind. Put yourself in the driver's seat. You want to ask yourself this one question: does this thing that I'm thinking about serve me in my purpose? And if it doesn't, that means if you just put yourself in the driver's seat to control yourself, to think about what does serve you. So that means not only did that negative thought that you might have been thinking might have not been serving you, but now you're actually thinking of something that can serve you. So this is how your mind can work, right? And that's what you want to do. That's my word of advice. Always try and bounce back. We call it bouncing back. Bounce back. And it's suggested not to stay in a real negative vibe, because you'll get that. Whatever you put out is what you get back. It's karma on every level. So, for instance, I'll show you an example. You can look at it as a thought. Any thought has a feeling behind it, right? If you think happy thoughts, oh, I'm going to have such a good day today. So that is like, what happens behind that? It's happy. It's a happy thought. It's a good feeling. So when you think about that thought turns into an action that shoots out in the world as a positive thought. Now what comes back is the feeling. So you shoot out the thought, and the feeling comes back. So that's how this works. So if I'm shooting out positive, then I'm going to get back positive in some way, shape, or form. Through another person could be calling me on the phone, be like, hey, what's up? I'm having a great day. What are you saying today? Or hey, you just won something, or something positive. It's going to come. You might find money. There's so many things that are going to happen because you keep putting that positive energy out. If you ever notice, when you're having a bad day, usually you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 4 things in a row will happen to you. You'll be like, yo, why am I having such a bad day? 1, 2, 3, 4, all in a row. Why? Because that one thought is negative. So you're pushing that out. Oh, I'm late for work. Oh, teacher's gonna be mad at me. Oh, screw this teacher. You go to school. Next thing you know, you're losing your book. God damn it. It's just one thing leads to another. Oh, next thing you know, you're getting a call. Oh, you're late on your phone bill. Oh, like, oh, you broke up. Now you're getting kicked out your house because so and so. Like, it just goes on and on. Why? Because it attracts negative, positive attracts positive. So this is a very important thing you need to know about yourself. And everything in the world comes with a manual. Your computer, your phone, your key, your TV, everything comes with a manual. What doesn't come with a manual is you. There's no written manual that you come with. You don't know how to use yourself. You don't know what you're about. You don't know who you are. You don't know what you can do. You don't know all of your skills. You don't know how to sharpen your skills. You have no idea about these things. And if you do, that's great. But there's a lot of people who just don't. And this is because they don't know who they are. They're not looking at who they are. They're always looking on the outside instead of listening to the inside. They're listening to the outside. That's what I'm talking about isolation. They're always having these other people in their head every second, telling them who they're supposed to be and how they're supposed to act. You understand? Instead of thinking of being isolated away from people and actually getting to know who they are, getting to know what they really like, getting to know what they really about, getting to know their real gifts and what they're really what they really like and dislike, and so forth. And another thing that I wanted to talk about, this helping you guys, it's helping me right now, because by me talking about these things that I already know about, only helps me when I tell you about them. It reminds me. So this is self-healing. I'm on here for you, but I'm also here on for me. This is self-healing I'm doing by teaching you guys about clarity, service, not caring what people think, being isolated, being righteous, acting in the now, and having gratitude. All of these will help you find purpose. Because I found purpose, I'm teaching you guys how to find purpose through doing these actions and having these qualities. There was one thing that was really bothering me today. Movies. See, movies is a serious influence. Whatever you watch, whatever you put in front of your face, becomes a part of you, whether you like it or not. Whatever you look at will be a part of you. In the instant that you look at it, some things stay with you, some things you don't remember. They're just in and out. Usually the most extreme things that you witness, see, hear, mainly, etc., are the things that are going to stay with you. The more traumatizing things, the more super exciting things, the more super funny things, the more extreme feeling things. Those are the things that are going to stay in your memory for life. The little things in between in the present time are just going to come and go, come and go, come and go. And what movies does, it lets off that steam in your... Me personally, I love movies. I know almost everyone I know loves movies. There's almost no one I don't know that does not love movies. I don't care what. They might be into horror, they might be into romance, they might be into action, comedy. They love movies. If it's not one thing, they'll love different type of movies. Well, movies, because it's not reality. It's fantasy. It's suspense. It's a place where you'll never really go or see. You know what I mean? In real life. So it's interesting. And it revolves around humans and so forth, and fantasy and cartoons, and it's just cool. You know what I mean? So movies are the thing where you gotta watch what you watch. Not only do you have to watch what you watch, but you have to have a time. You shouldn't even be watching movies, period. Because what happens is you're in the presence of a fake reality all the time. As soon as you're putting a movie on, you're like, you're zoomed in. Basically transported right into the movie. I snap my finger, they'll be like, yo, Red. No answer. Why? Because they're like, right into the movie. They've been transformed right into the movie. So you're not even in this real world anymore. So you're sleeping. You're in another world. Your brain masters your body. It controls your body. As soon as your brain is focused on one thing in another place, in another time zone, you're not here anymore. That's it. So the more you're not in this world, the more you're in that world, the less you are in this world. The less you are in this world, the less you are in the world that of knowing, of finding out who you are. Every single day you're gonna learn more about yourself and learn more about yourself. Just when you thought you knew yourself, you didn't know about this about yourself. You're trying something new. You're aging every 7 years. You're transforming every 7 years. Your opinions are changing. Your thoughts and your likes and dislikes are changing. What you used to eat when you were young, you don't like those things when you're older. You're always changing. You're always transforming. So you'll never really know who you are. But it's important to know who you are because that's how you find your purpose in the world. You don't want to die. I don't know if you guys want to die leaving no mark or not doing what you were supposed to do in the world. But I'm sure there's a lot of you who don't want that. There's a lot of you who are going to work on a 9 to 5 on a daily basis and dislike your job because you want to do something but you just can't do it for some reason. Something's stopping you. You know, or you just feel like you're more of a leader than a follower. So you don't like listening to the boss. Those are traits of a leader. So why are you following? But you don't know what to lead. You know, like these are the things that I'm talking about that are going to make you, that you need to find out about yourself in order for you to find the real purpose behind your existence. So watch what you watch and limit it. I advise you watch what you're looking at and limit it. The things that we've all been programmed, I especially have been programmed to enjoy, are action movies, fighting, killing, funny fighting, killing. That's me. And like murder, like gangsta, like Soprano style, Tupac style, like Above the Rim style, like, you know, Brothers in the Hood. Like all of these different movies that I've been watching through my whole life has become a part of me now, and I actually project that out into this world that I'm living through my actions, through the way I talk, through the way I dress, through the way I am, through the way I go about business, through everything. So if you want to become something and you feel like your higher self wants to be somewhere else, then you got to start watching those people who are obviously doing that. And you got to look at what they're doing and follow them and just copycat what they're doing. And some of the things you can't really copycat because you don't have the finances, but at least you can start by doing the things that have come for free. Like a person who's rich usually has more than 1 or 2 languages. They usually know French, usually know summer. So those things are free. You can learn those on YouTube by yourself. Or you can do a program for free. You know, some of the things you can learn on your own, reading books, getting knowledge. All of these people who are in higher places they read a lot. They read books on psychology. They read books on all these different things to improve their self and improve their skills. So this is exactly the things that you should be doing for free. You can't let money be a barrier or an excuse of why you're not getting or why you're not reaching the goals that you want to reach, or at least leveling up closer and closer and closer to the person you want to be. You know what I mean? You can't make that an excuse, and there is no excuse for it. Because the internet's at the touch of your fingers now. All of the resources are out there. They're giving free lessons for almost everything now. So, yeah, just watch what you're... Oh, and watch what you're watching. Forget the movies. Forget the negative movies. You don't want to do what you're always doing. You want to be in a different place in your life, you got to do something totally different than what you're doing. It's scary because you're out of your element. It's not what you're used to. But what's scary, sometimes on the other side of scary, we've all heard this before, is your biggest success.